their hearts were burning within them from being with Jesus and talking to him. Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning in to our Easter video series. This year we've been taking 5 minutes every day to look at Jesus' final week on earth. In this second half of the series, we're shifting our focus from the cross and the tomb to the events after his resurrection, and particularly on what our part to play is as followers of Jesus. A big part of that is how he calls us to believe, receive and obey, which is what we're going to look at today. So the passage is the road to Emmaus, which is Luke 24 verse 13 to 32, and I'm going to read that now. Now that same day, 2 of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, but they were kept from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing together as you walk along?" They stood still, their faces downcast. One of them, named Cleopas, asked him, "Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who does not know the things that have happened there in these days?" "What things?" he asked. "About Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what is more, it is the 3rd day since all this took place. In addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but didn't find his body. They came and told us that they had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our companions went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see Jesus." He said to them, "How foolish you are, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. As they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus continued on as if he were going further. But they urged him strongly, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening. The day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. When he was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight. They asked each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us?" A big point from this passage is that Jesus teaches these 2 followers to walk by faith and not by sight. And these people are kept blind to who Jesus really is so that they have the opportunity to believe in Jesus based on who he is and not what they physically see. This is especially important for them as Jesus knew that he would have to ascend to heaven and leave his followers behind to have faith in him without the physical reminder. And these followers are also going through a really difficult time. They've recently lost their leader and their saviour, as well as the man who they thought would save them from the Roman occupation. And so their whole lives have changed. They're disheartened, they're probably unsure of their future and their safety, and they're described as being downcast in the passage. But what's really encouraging is that Jesus was not only with them in their uncertainty and their doubt, but he also encouraged them. He helped them to understand what was going on around them and the purpose behind things by pointing them to the scriptures, and he brought them closer to him. We might relate to the followers as we're also going through a time of change, confusion and even doubt, but we can have the assurance that Jesus is with us and that he will strengthen us and encourage us in our faith and that he will bring us comfort and clarity. By the end of the passage, the followers say that their hearts were burning within them from being with Jesus and talking to him, which is a complete turnaround from the beginning when they were struggling in their faith and questioning what had happened. By the time they realise who Jesus is, they have faith in him not because of what they see, but because of their strengthened faith. Now I'm just going to encourage you to go away and look at this passage for yourself and see what you take away from it personally. So it's Luke chapter 24 verse 13 to 32. Something you might find helpful is the Swedish Bible study method, which we've been using a lot. So when you're highlighting the passage, you can draw a light bulb next to something that stood out to you, a question mark for something that you don't fully understand or you have a question about, and an arrow for something that you can apply directly to your own life. So yeah, that's what I took away from the passage. Thanks for tuning in and have a great week.